Emily Brontë, a name whispered in literary circles, a name shrouded in mystery. Born in 1818, Emily lived a quiet life. She was one of three sisters, all writers. Their world, the desolate yet beautiful Yorkshire moors. This landscape would become the backdrop for her only novel, Wuthering Heights. Published in 1847 under the pen name Ellis Bell, the book was initially met with mixed reviews. Some found it shocking, they found it disturbing. This was a far cry from the romantic novels of the time. Wuthering Heights was raw. It was passionate. It was a whirlwind of love, revenge, and haunting emotions. Emily Brontë died a year after its publication. She was only 30. She never knew the impact her novel would have. She never witnessed its rise to literary fame. Wuthering Heights would become a cornerstone of Gothic literature. It's a novel that continues to captivate readers even today. Imagine a world of stark beauty, a place where the elements themselves seem to conspire to create a landscape both breathtaking and foreboding. The mountains rise like ancient sentinels, their peaks often shrouded in mist, their slopes rugged and untamed. This is a world where nature's raw power is on full display, a world that both captivates and intimidates. Picture the wild, untamed moors. These vast expanses of land, covered in heather and bracken, stretch out as far as the eye can see. The wind howls across the moors, carrying with it the scent of earth and rain. It's a place of solitude and mystery, where one can easily lose themselves in the beauty and desolation. This is the setting for our story, a tale that unfolds against the backdrop of these majestic mountains and moors. It's a story that is as wild and untamed as the landscape itself, filled with passion, conflict, and a deep sense of longing. A story of two families, the Earnshaws and the Lintons. These families, though seemingly worlds apart, find their lives inexorably linked by fate and circumstance. Their interactions, their conflicts, and their loves are all set against the dramatic and ever-changing landscape of the mountains. Their lives, their loves, their fates, all intertwined. The mountains stand as silent witnesses to their joys and sorrows, their triumphs and tragedies. Each peak and valley holds a piece of their story, a fragment of their shared history. At the heart of the story, Heathcliff, a mysterious, brooding figure. His presence is as dark and compelling as the storm clouds that often gather over the mountains. He is a man of deep passions and fierce emotions, driven by a desire for revenge and a longing for love, adopted into the Earnshaw family. Heathcliff's arrival at Wuthering Heights sets off a chain of events that will forever alter the lives of those around him. His presence brings both joy and turmoil, love and hatred. He forms a powerful bond with Catherine Earnshaw. Their connection is immediate and intense, a bond that transcends the ordinary and delves into the realm of the extraordinary. Together, they share a love that is both beautiful and destructive, a love that defies convention and challenges the very fabric of their world. Their love, passionate, all-consuming, and ultimately destructive. Enter Edgar Linton, a man who represents everything that Heathcliff is not. Where Heathcliff is wild and untamed, Edgar is refined and civilized. He brings with him a sense of stability and order, a stark contrast to the chaos that Heathcliff embodies. He represents a world of civility and social status. Edgar's presence introduces a new dynamic to the story, a clash between the wild and the civilized, the passionate and the restrained. His love for Catherine is genuine, but it is a love that is rooted in a desire for harmony and propriety. He is everything Heathcliff is not. Catherine is torn. She finds herself caught between two worlds, two loves, two very different visions of what her life could be. On one hand, there is the wild, untamed passion of Heathcliff, a love that consumes her and leaves her breathless. On the other, there is the calm, steady affection of Edgar, a love that offers her security and peace. She faces a choice between the wild intensity of Heathcliff and the security of Edgar. This choice is not an easy one, and it is a decision that will have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. Catherine's heart is divided, and her struggle to reconcile her feelings sets the stage for a dramatic and heart-wrenching tale. Her decision sets in motion a chain of events. Events that will test the limits of love and loyalty, that will challenge the very foundations of the families involved. The mountains, with their timeless presence, stand as a silent testament to the unfolding drama, their peaks and valleys echoing the highs and lows of the characters' lives. These events will have devastating consequences for all involved. The choices made, the actions taken, will reverberate through the lives of the Earnshaws and the Lintons, leaving a lasting impact that will be felt for generations to come. The mountains, ever present and unchanging, bear witness to the unfolding tragedy. Get ready to step into a world of tumultuous emotions, a world where love and hate, joy and sorrow are intertwined in a complex and compelling tapestry. The mountains, with their rugged beauty and untamed spirit, provide the perfect backdrop for this tale of passion and conflict. Brace yourselves for a journey through love, loss, and the enduring power of the past. A journey that will take you deep into the hearts and minds of the characters, revealing their deepest desires and darkest fears. The mountains, with their timeless presence, serve as a constant reminder of the enduring nature of love and the inevitability of loss. Welcome to the world of Wuthering Heights, a world where the past and present collide, where love and hate are two sides of the same coin, and where the mountains stand as silent witnesses to the unfolding drama. Prepare to be captivated by a story that is as wild and untamed as the landscape itself. Heathcliff, a name that evokes mystery, a name synonymous with passion. Found wandering the streets of Liverpool, his origins are unknown. He is brought to Wuthering Heights by Mr. Earnshaw. The master of the house treats him with kindness, but Heathcliff's arrival disrupts the family dynamic. Heathcliff faces resentment. Hindley, the son of the house, sees him as a rival. Catherine, however, is drawn to him. They form an immediate connection. Bound by their shared love for the wildness of the moors, they become inseparable. Heathcliff is often described as dark and brooding. He possesses a smouldering intensity that both attracts and repels. He is fiercely intelligent, but his lack of social graces and his quick temper often lead to conflict. Haunted by his past, Heathcliff yearns for acceptance. He longs for love. His passionate nature, however, often manifests as anger and resentment. This makes him a complex and tragic figure. Catherine Earnshaw, a wild spirit, as untamed as the moors she roams. She is full of life, energy, and a certain reckless abandon. She challenges societal norms. She defies expectations. Her heart belongs to the moors and to Heathcliff. Catherine and Heathcliff share an undeniable bond. Their love is passionate. It's all-consuming. It's also destructive. They are two sides of the same coin, drawn together by their shared intensity. Despite her love for Heathcliff, Catherine is also aware of his social standing. She knows that society would never accept their union. This internal conflict tears her apart. She grapples with her love for Heathcliff. She struggles with her desire for a more socially acceptable life. Catherine's character is full of contradictions. She is capable of great love and great cruelty. She is both innocent and manipulative. This complexity makes her one of literature's most enduring and fascinating female characters. Section 3. Edgar Linton, The Antithesis. Enter Edgar Linton. Edgar Linton, a name that resonates with refinement and grace, steps into the narrative as a figure of stark contrast. His presence is a breath of fresh air, a serene counterpoint to the tumultuous world of Wuthering Heights. From Thrushcross Grange, he represents a stark contrast to the wildness of Wuthering Heights. The Grange, with its manicured gardens and tranquil ambience, stands as a symbol of order and civility, a world away from the raw, untamed spirit of the Heights. He is refined, educated, and from a wealthy family. Edgar's upbringing in a family of means has afforded him the best education, the finest manners, and a life of comfort and privilege. His demeanor is polished, his speech articulate, and his actions measured. He embodies the social expectations of the time. In every way, Edgar is the epitome of what society deems respectable and desirable. He is courteous, well-mannered, and adheres to the norms and values of his social class. He is everything Heathcliff is not. Where Heathcliff is wild and unpredictable, Edgar is calm and composed. Where Heathcliff is driven by passion and vengeance, Edgar is guided by reason and propriety. Edgar is drawn to Catherine's beauty and spirit. He offers her security. He provides stability. In Catherine, Edgar sees a kindred spirit, someone who shares his appreciation for beauty and refinement. He longs to offer her a life of stability and comfort, a sanctuary from the chaos of Wuthering Heights. He represents a world of comfort and social acceptance. Edgar's world is one of luxury and ease, a place where Catherine can find the acceptance and respect she craves. It is a world where her social standing is secure and her future is assured, something Heathcliff can never offer. Heathcliff, with his rough edges and turbulent emotions, can never provide the same sense of security and acceptance. His love, though intense, is fraught with danger and uncertainty. Catherine is torn between the two men. She is caught in a painful dilemma, torn between the passionate, all-consuming love she feels for Heathcliff and the safe, stable life Edgar offers. While Edgar is presented as the antithesis to Heathcliff, he is not without his flaws. Despite his many virtues, Edgar is not a perfect man. He has his own set of weaknesses and shortcomings. He can be possessive and controlling. His love for Catherine, though genuine, is marred by a desire to possess and control her. He wants her to conform to his ideals and expectations. He is often blind to the true desires of those around him. Edgar's well-meaning but misguided attempts to shape Catherine's life often leave him oblivious to her true feelings and desires. His love for Catherine, though genuine, is tinged with a sense of ownership. He sees her as a prize to be won, a possession to be cherished and protected, rather than an independent individual with her own needs and desires. Edgar's character serves as a foil to Heathcliff's. In every way, Edgar's character is designed to highlight the differences between him and Heathcliff. His sophistication and refinement stand in stark contrast to Heathcliff's raw, untamed nature. He highlights the societal constraints that bind Catherine. Edgar's presence in Catherine's life serves as a constant reminder of the societal expectations and constraints that she must navigate. He represents the life she could have had. Edgar embodies the life of comfort, stability, and social acceptance that Catherine could have chosen, a life that stands in stark contrast to the tumultuous existence she shares with Heathcliff, a life that is ultimately out of reach. Despite the allure of the life Edgar offers, it remains ultimately unattainable for Catherine, as her heart and soul are irrevocably tied to Heathcliff and the wild, untamed spirit of Wuthering Heights. Section 4. A Love Triangle on the Moors. The stage is set. 3 lives intertwined. A love triangle that will have devastating consequences. Catherine's choice between Heathcliff and Edgar sets in motion a chain of events that will shape their destinies. Heathcliff, consumed by love for Catherine, is driven to despair by her decision. He vows revenge. his love warps into a bitter obsession. This sets the stage for the novel's exploration of the destructive nature of love, revenge, and the lasting impact of our choices. The wild, unforgiving landscape of the moors mirrors the tumultuous emotions of the characters. The setting becomes a character in itself. It reflects the darkness that consumes their hearts. The love triangle is just the beginning. It sets the stage for a tale of betrayal, heartbreak, and the enduring power of the past. A tale that continues to captivate readers generations later. Section 1. Love's Cruel Grip. Love, a powerful force. In Wuthering Heights, it's a force of both creation and destruction. It binds souls together. It tears them apart. Emily Brontë explores love's complexities. She reveals its dark side. Catherine's love for Heathcliff is all-consuming. It's a force of nature, but it's also laced with a need for social acceptance. She chooses Edgar. This decision sets off a chain reaction of pain and suffering. Heathcliff is devastated. His love for Catherine twists into a bitter obsession. He becomes consumed by the desire for revenge. He wants to make everyone around him suffer as he has. Love in Wuthering Heights is not romantic. It's raw, primal, and often destructive. It's a force that can both elevate and destroy. Section 2. The Fury of Revenge. Revenge becomes Heathcliff's sole motivation. He wants to inflict pain on those who wronged him. He targets Hindley. He takes over Wuthering Heights. He abuses Hindley's son, Hareton. Heathcliff's revenge extends to the next generation. He manipulates his son, Linton, into marrying Edgar's daughter, Cathy. He wants to gain control of Thrushcross Grange. His actions are cruel. They are relentless. He becomes a dark reflection of the pain he has endured. He perpetuates a cycle of misery. But revenge is a double-edged sword. It consumes Heathcliff. It leaves him isolated and ultimately unfulfilled. Section 3. Society's Shackles. Social class casts a long shadow over Wuthering Heights. It dictates relationships. It shapes destinies. It's a barrier that separates Heathcliff and Catherine. Heathcliff's lack of social standing is a constant source of conflict. He's seen as an outsider. He's treated with disdain by those who consider themselves superior. Catherine's choice of Edgar is influenced by social pressures. She desires the security and acceptance that come with his position. But this comes at a price. She sacrifices her true love. Brontë critiques the rigidity of social class. She exposes its destructive impact on human relationships. Section 4. A Cycle of Pain. The characters in Wuthering Heights are trapped. They're caught in a cycle of pain and suffering. Past traumas cast a long shadow on the present. Heathcliff's childhood abandonment fuels his rage. It drives his need for revenge. His actions create new wounds. These wounds are passed down to the next generation. The children of the protagonists become entangled in their parents' conflicts. They are forced to confront the consequences of past actions. The novel suggests that true freedom can only be found by breaking free from this cycle. This requires forgiveness. It demands understanding. The Yorkshire moors, a character in itself. Wild, untamed, unforgiving. This is the backdrop for the tumultuous events of Wuthering Heights. It's a place of stark beauty, a place of haunting isolation. The moors are a constant presence. They loom large in the lives of the characters. They represent freedom. They embody passion. They also reflect the darkness that festers within the walls of Wuthering Heights. Emily Brontë uses vivid imagery to bring the moors to life. She describes the howling wind. She paints the shifting mists. She evokes a sense of both awe and unease. The moors are not merely a setting. They are a force of nature. They shape the characters' destinies. They amplify their emotions. The wildness of the moors mirrors the untamed passions of the characters. Catherine and Heathcliff's love is as fierce and unpredictable as the weather. Their emotions are reflected in the stormy skies and the rugged terrain. When Heathcliff is consumed by revenge, the moors seem to reflect his inner turmoil. The landscape becomes harsher, more menacing. The wind howls like a tormented soul. Edgar, on the other hand, represents the world beyond the moors. He is associated with the cultivated gardens of Thrushcross Grange. He seeks to tame Catherine's wild spirit, just as he seeks to impose order on the natural world. The moors serve as a constant reminder of the characters' true natures. They expose the raw emotions that lie beneath the surface of their lives. Section 3. The Presence of the Past. The moors are haunted by the past. Memories linger in the windswept landscape. Ghosts roam the lonely paths. Catherine's spirit is forever bound to the moors. She seeks to communicate with Heathcliff from beyond the grave. The boundaries between the living and the dead become blurred. The past intrudes upon the present. Characters are haunted by their past actions. They struggle to escape the shadows of those who came before them. The moors become a repository of memory and loss. They are a constant reminder of the enduring power of the past. They suggest that some wounds never truly heal. Section 4. A Refuge and a Prison. For Heathcliff and Catherine, the moors offer a refuge from the constraints of society. It's a place where they can be themselves. They can express their love freely. They are not bound by social conventions. However, the moors can also be a prison. Their isolation feeds their destructive passions. It isolates them from the outside world. It prevents them from escaping the cycle of pain and revenge. The moors represent both freedom and confinement. They offer a glimpse of a world beyond social constraints. They also trap the characters in a web of their own making. Section 1. A Legacy Etched in Stone. Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights is a landmark achievement. It's a novel that has haunted readers for centuries. Its impact on literature is undeniable. It's inspired countless writers. It's given birth to numerous adaptations. The Brontë sisters, including Emily, helped to redefine English literature. They explored themes of love, loss, and social injustice with a rawness that shocked Victorian society. They paved the way for future generations of women writers. Wuthering Heights continues to resonate with readers today. Its themes of love, revenge, and social class are timeless. Its characters, flawed and complex, feel as real as ever. The novel's exploration of the darker aspects of human nature remains as relevant as ever. It's a reminder that love can be both a source of great joy and great pain. It forces us to confront the consequences of our actions. Section 2. Love in the Ruins. Wuthering Heights is a novel that stays with you long after you've finished reading it. It's not just a story. It's an experience that seeps into your soul and lingers there, haunting your thoughts and dreams. The novel's setting, the windswept moors, is almost a character in itself. The desolate, untamed landscape mirrors the tumultuous emotions of the characters, creating an atmosphere that is both eerie and captivating. The windswept moors, the tumultuous relationships, the haunting presence of the past. They all linger in the mind. The moors are a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead seem to blur, where the past is never truly gone, and where the present is always overshadowed by what has come before. This setting creates a sense of timelessness, a feeling that the events of the novel could be happening at any moment, in any place. The love story between Heathcliff and Catherine is both captivating and tragic. Their passion is undeniable, but it's also destructive. It consumes them both. Their love is a force of nature, wild and uncontrollable, like the moors themselves. It's a love that defies reason and logic, a love that is both beautiful and terrifying in its intensity. Heathcliff and Catherine are drawn to each other with a magnetic force that neither can resist, but their love is also their undoing. It leaves a trail of broken hearts in its wake. The collateral damage of their love is immense, affecting everyone around them. Their relationship is a storm that sweeps through their lives, leaving destruction in its path. The other characters in the novel are caught in the crossfire, their lives forever altered by the tempestuous love between Heathcliff and Catherine. This trail of broken hearts serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of love when it is unchecked and all-consuming. The novel raises questions about the nature of love. What does it mean to truly love someone? Is love a force for good, or can it be a source of pain and suffering? Wuthering Heights challenges our conventional notions of love, presenting it as a complex and multifaceted emotion that can bring both joy and despair. The novel forces us to confront the darker aspects of love, the ways in which it can consume and destroy, as well as the ways in which it can uplift and inspire. Is it possible to truly love someone while also seeking revenge against them? Heathcliff's love for Catherine is intertwined with his desire for revenge, creating a toxic and destructive dynamic. His love is possessive and vengeful, driven by a need to assert control and dominance. This raises the question of whether true love can exist in the presence of such negative emotions. Can love and revenge coexist, or are they fundamentally incompatible? Can love transcend social barriers and the wounds of the past? Heathcliff and Catherine's love is complicated by their social status and the traumas of their past. Their relationship challenges the rigid social hierarchies of their time, suggesting that love can break down barriers and defy societal expectations. However, the novel also shows that the wounds of the past can be difficult to heal, and that love alone may not be enough to overcome the obstacles that stand in its way. For me, Wuthering Heights is a masterpiece of Gothic literature. Its dark and brooding atmosphere, its complex and flawed characters, and its exploration of the darker aspects of human nature make it a timeless and unforgettable work. The novel delves into themes of love, revenge, and the supernatural, creating a rich and layered narrative that continues to captivate readers to this day. It's a dark, brooding, and ultimately unforgettable tale of love, loss, and the enduring power of the human heart. The novel's exploration of the human condition is both profound and unsettling, forcing us to confront the darker aspects of our own nature. Wuthering Heights is a story that stays with you, its characters and themes lingering in your mind long after you've turned the final page. It's a novel that continues to haunt me. The story of Heathcliff and Catherine, with its intense emotions and tragic outcomes, leaves a lasting impression. The haunting presence of the moors, the sense of timelessness, and the exploration of love's complexities all contribute to the novel's enduring impact. Wuthering Heights is a work that resonates on a deep and emotional level, its themes and characters echoing in the reader's mind long after the book is closed. It makes me question my own beliefs about love, forgiveness, and the nature of the human soul. The novel's exploration of these themes is both thought-provoking and challenging, forcing us to reconsider our own perspectives. Wuthering Heights is a story that invites us to look deeper, to question our assumptions, and to explore the complexities of the human heart. It's a novel that stays with you, its impact lingering long after the final page is turned.